What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another one of my videos, and today I'll be playing Kerbal Space Program and doing something a little more normal, unlike making like a moon base. But I'll be trying to land a lander on the moon, or attempting to land a lander on the moon.
Oh my god!
As you will see later in the video. The next part will be posted soon, which the next part isn't really just like a second part. It's basically like a rescue mission. As you'll see later in the video, we run into a little issue. But it's okay though, because we're gonna rescue them, of course. So I mean, let's get this video started. So we're just going to start off by simply putting in like a 3-seater cockpit so that we could bring 3 people to the moon, just like the original Apollo moon landings. But in the original Apollo moon landings, they only had they had one person staying in orbit of the moon. And then they had the 2 go down, but in this one, they're all going down, so you can see I'm starting off with putting the fairings. That port is slightly based off the SLS, the fairings on top of the Orion spacecraft and the Space Launch System. As you can see, I already added the engine and the landing legs and then the other engine, which for the last stage engine, I used the Poodle engine. I don't know exactly what I used for the second to last stage engines, but as you can see now, I'm putting on the solar panels. That's what they're called, solar panels, for electricity and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then as you can see, I'm finally going down to the bigger stage, which this part, like the bigger stage, it's also slightly based off the SLS, or the Space Launch System, Orion spacecraft integrity, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. As you can see, and then, well, we're done. Oh. That was rough. Now we're finally launching. We launched, of course. This was a launch that actually went good. This was a really cool launch. I really like this one. See, as you can see, though, it's slightly based off the Orion and the Saturn V spacecraft. You can see how, like, the paint is different, and it also slightly based off of a piece of the stages. I actually let go of the boosters early on this one, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I did that. Actually, I might have... Oh, I think I was trying to put on ignition, but I clicked the wrong thing, obviously. The reason I'm going in orbit that way is so that I can be in the same direction of the moon, so I'm going in the same way, so... Yeah, so I'm going on the same plane of orbit as the moon. Because it'll be way easier to do that for once you're doing the, once you're navigating to, or the translunar injection. Oh, no. The transmunner injection. My fault. And then I can see I was simply getting to orbit, which I feel like I did. I did really good on the spacecraft, to be honest. This is way better than almost any of my other spacecrafts. This is just me fixing my orbits. Oh, and then this is when I was setting up the target, which, thank goodness I watched that video on it, because I would have never known. But that dude sucked, so I don't even know why I'm saying thank you to him, dude. His video absolutely sucked. I did not learn anything. Or I did learn something, but he was just talking way too fast, to be honest. So this is when I was setting it up the maneuver. Oh, and then right here is when I started the transmunner injection burn, or the transmuner injection burn. As you can see, which is gonna happen in like 3, 2. Oh, this is when I was putting off the launch escape system and the fairings that covered the Orion spacecraft, or whatever you want to call it. And this is the burn that I'm doing right now. I had a pretty good amount of I'm actually really proud how I made this spacecraft, because it has a pretty good amount of fuel. It's a good amount of delta V. Oh, never mind. Well, it does. It still has a good amount of delta V. It actually has a great amount of delta V compared to literally any other of my spacecrafts. Which, this is one reason I really like this one. This is me entering, and this is my fix. I really liked how I did that, the transmunder injection burn, because I got an approach really close to the moon, as you can see, like right there. You can see I got it really close to the moon, the mun. And then this is when I was getting an orbit around the mun, and I was just fixing the orbit right here. Really pointless. Did I forget? I might have forgot the antennas. Oopsie doopsie. Oh, and this is when I was doing the burn so that I could like actually land on the moon, or attempt to land on the moon. You know, when we land, when we totally land, I'll just give you guys like a representation of what I did when that happened, like real time. Give me 1 second. Any second now, bruh. I'm pretty sure this is what I was doing. I was actually surprised, but I didn't know all the landing legs deployed all at the same time. Because on my last spacecraft, like the mun one? No, the habitat one that landed on the mun. I had to open every single one of the landing legs by myself. But on this one, I just had to open one, and then boom, they all opened. It was actually really nice. As you can see, what's gonna happen in like a couple seconds. In 3, 2, oh, never mind. I guess I'm taking too long. Boom. See, it all opened, which I found that was really nice. And then we're gonna land. Totally gonna land, you know, air quotes right there, okay? It's air quotes, because you'll just see what happens. It's already off to a bad start. Boom. But then I saved it. So I flew off, because both of those landings were gonna be like really bad. The best landing ever, by the way. Hold on. Let me just give you that recreation. Oh my god! No! That was literally me. I can't even lie. But I was able to plant the flag. Since it's about to be the end of the video, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And as I always say, see you when I rescue them.